No, I get it. I ran a game shop in Wausau for 6 months-ish again called Games, LLC, Gamez. It was in Rib Mountain, right next to the Petco or PetSmart. I was the manager for that when it opened in 2007. 2007. I ran that until the holiday season of 2007. It was good. We did pretty well there, a lot better than my game shop did in 2003. But still, even then, we were like struggling. We were struggling hardcore to like keep people coming in and stuff. And so you have to have a good shop and a good spot. I liked Johnny C's spot. I think if somebody reopened a game shop there, it would probably do pretty well. A little surprised Johnny C hasn't like sold that, but he's doing his own thing with online sales and he's making tons of money. So I love John. John's a good guy. He's a good guy and he'll give it to you real. So that's who I would talk to. I'd talk to Tony and talk to John about how you do that. But my experience is I love the idea of opening a game shop, but I think you'd want to be in Chicago or Milwaukee or Madison or something like that so that you would have an influx of interest. Because if 1% of Wausau is interested, okay, that's great. You have 30,000 plus people. So 1% of that comes into your store once in a while. If half of those 1% are regulars, and then a quarter of those 1% are people that will regularly buy product from you, like that, can you maintain a store off of that? A used game store, or buying like Johnny C at the end there, he was buying new games too. You could pre-order new games and do all that stuff. And video games, he was obviously doing new tabletop and card game and role-playing stuff. But I trust John since I know him. I think retro goes well, but I can also go online as well. Yeah, I like the online stuff. Oh, did you cash in a stretch, my friend? I can read that text. Hold on a second here. Oh, that's pretty great. All right, hold on. Here we go. Here we go now. Knock it off. Oh, hey, man. Knock it off, then.
Quit it.
How's it going? Ready? All right, we're going to do squats. I'll go down, and then you go up. Ready?
No.
I'm down. No, you did it. That was weird.
I heard you crack.
I did. That's my... It's because I sit too long. And
What, did somebody tell you to stretch?
Yep. Yep, we're stretching now. So you just do like this. Yeah, my left knee, my right knee, I should say, it pops once in a while.
Hold up. The cat has to stretch with us.
She's like, play the accordion. The cat accordion. She's so chunky. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. She's so tolerant. Oh, hi, sweetie.
Daddy's just waiting patient. Oh.
Wow, you're ornery. Knock it off. Okay, beat up the kitten. Oh. Let's see, what did Hank message me? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Bow, bow, bow. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I thought he said something about our topic. But hey, I think that just about wraps us up. That just about wraps us up for the day, huh? Hope you enjoyed your morning mug. I'm going to continue. I'm going to finish this off right here. Yeah, dude, you should do that. One of the best times that I had in... What's up, Gaijin? How you doing, my friend? That is an amazing amount of emotes. That is wonderful. Guy, my friend, long time no see. One of the best times I had, and I could have gotten back into selling and buying and selling online. And buying and selling online is a great thing to do in your pastime or in free time. The problem is that all of those markets are kind of down, and the fees will kick your ass. So it's good to buy lots and then split them all up and sell them. That is something, if you continue to do it, like you buy 3 or 4 lots a week and sell hundreds of items on eBay every week. And that is a full 8-hour-a-day job. It literally is. You can make money doing that. But the thing is will it fulfill your needs in terms of income? Or is it something you would just do for your free time? So let me tell you a little story real quick before I wrap up the day. In 2019, I lost my job. I was a consultant. It was actually the last time I ever was a consultant. And it was kind of a blessing in disguise. July, I don't remember what it was, mid-July 2019. I got a message and they were like, yep, project's all done. Good job. We're not continuing your contract. We're going to let you go. But we might have something coming up in October, so hang tight. And I was like, let's see, July, August, September, October. 3 months. They were like, it's more of a hobby since I still want to be a teacher. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I would look at it exactly like that. If you're a teacher and you have a few months off in the summer and you get part-time jobs, maybe that's perfect for you. But like in 2019, I got let go and I was panicking. I'm like, fuck, like I'm 1 year into my 15-year lease. I got a lot of bills due and I got a lot of responsibilities, and I was like, shit, I am unemployed. And the shittiest thing about that too, and this is going into way too much detail, but like I gave up a 6-year job at CGI and I wasn't happy there. I wasn't very happy there, but I was well taken care of and I was comfortable. But I wasn't being challenged and I didn't do a lot of work that was really growing my career, but I was comfortable. Like they weren't going to let me go in a long, long time. And if I did get let go from CGI, because I was there for 6 years, they actually had a really nice plan for people for retirements or layoffs or being let go, is that you would get a 1 month per years served. What's it called? Separation. What's the word I'm looking for? If you get let go from somewhere and they give you money. Anyway, so for 6 years, I could have gotten 6 months paid. That's basically like they don't want you to leave. They don't want you to get fired, I should say. If they lay you off or fire you, they owe you that in pay. So that for every year. And that's why severance package. Thanks, Ben. I had a 6-month severance from CGI had I gotten let go. And I didn't not get off. I didn't get let go. I quit to go work for another company called Tesh Global. Tesh Global, by the way, I'm not endorsing or knocking anyone. I would be very, very careful going to work for a company that has less than 50 employees because I love the idea of a startup shop, and I love the idea that it was like really chill and laid back, and they had a pool table and they had beer, and like, you know, you're working in an IT shop. That's cool because it feels like you're more or less working in a coffee shop that doesn't have any cubicles. You know, it's all open thought. And like, yeah, just take some space up over here and we're going to work out, man. And like everybody's kind of high and shit. I loved that. Like when I interviewed with them and they gave me a tour of their like office and stuff, I was like, holy fuck, do I love this. This is so cool. And I needed the change of atmosphere, and I definitely wanted to change, my job and career and be challenged. But they wanted me to work there as a contract person. They wanted me to work on a project that they had. And I said, no, I want somewhere where I'm going to be basically working 12 months a year and I have actually a job, whatever. And they're like, okay, well, we're looking for somebody else. And then like a month went by and then they decided, oh, hey, we really do need your tool set for this project we have. You're perfect for it. And so then I did work there. And then they did give me an offer and it was way more money. And so I'm like, oh shit, like I don't want to get fired from CGI, but I could totally take this job. And so I took a dive, and even if I didn't have the best feelings about it, I was like, I'm leaving somewhere very comfortable, but I'm better paycheck, whatever. And so I did it. I jumped to Tesh Global. And the first couple months were great because they did on-site training. They had me traveling. They sent me to Boston for a week to learn how to use some kind of tool that we were using, which was not great by any means. But it was cool. Like we had fun. We had a good time, and I got to meet, got to know my coworkers. Like it was great. We had a good time. And I don't remember what exact point it was. That was like December when I traveled with them to Boston. Then January, February happened, and then like March. Once the spring hit and this project we were on started to really hit the crunch time, they turned very different. Like the company acted very different towards me. They were not really communicating things to me about what the plans were for the project. They asked me to set up a database for them, and then by the end of the project, they were asking me like, "Well, what are your skill sets with with writing websites and Java and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm a data developer. Like, I don't really know anything like that. And so they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll have to bring in other people. And then they brought in other people. And I taught them some of the stuff that I had, showed my database to them, done whatever, and they started to develop stuff in like pushing towards like a different ETL tool. And then they started to create like the web design and look into the database. And they asked me questions about the database here and there. But then all of a sudden one Friday in July, they're like, hey, just so you know, like you're not a part of the second phase of this project, and we don't have anything else for you, so we're gonna let you go. And instead of like, I feel like they wanted someone for a particular project, and they wanted someone to be a contracted person. Like, your contract is for 9 months, and here you go. And I would say like, yeah, sure, I'll do a 9-month project. And then I know, right, that something else has to come up, that I have to figure something else out. But instead of doing that, they hired me full time and had me do the project and then just fired me. And like, I was so confused. And when they said, oh, well, we'll call you back when something else comes up, I'm like, And so anyway, long story longer, I would be very careful getting hired somewhere on a smaller startup type IT company when you already have something major, unless you have 100% faith in it and like you are going to be able to carry that company. Exactly. And then they tossed me. Yep. And so July, that first week, I was like fucking scared. I was reaching out to old employers. I went back to CGI. Ooh, I got another. Hey, how's it going, Ichigo Dave? How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. We do Tuesday and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. Usually, I play. This month, we're doing Castlevania games, so we're going to be doing Castlevania Chronicles next week, I think. That's the plan. How's it going? Anyway, so after the. Where was I? Oh, sorry, okay, so I got let go. I was terrified. I was reaching out to old employers. What's up, Owly, my friend? How's it going, dude? I was reaching out to old friends and old employers and stuff, and I did some interviewing for the first week or two. Risk in your growth, not for money. Like, I had my factory job, good, pay stable, but I took a pay cut to work in the school district and go to school. Hell yeah, dude. And that is good for you. I love the fact that you're following your dreams and you're teaching and you're helping kids that need that. Also going to school and getting that stuff done too. Oh, this whole time too, when I did get let go, I was going to school. I was working full time and going to school part time on evenings. So it was like, oh my God, what do I do? And so school costs money, everything costs money, house costs money. And so I went through my game library of junk, right? And initially, I've done this in the past where I would, as a hobby, selling and buying and selling off eBay and shit like that. But I went hardcore into downsizing my game library. It was overgrown, which it is again nowadays. I mean, I don't add to it a whole lot these days. I really haven't sold your 3 sealed magical chase games. Yeah, I wish I did. But what I wound up doing really is I just went through my game library. Every single different game console, I'd take like 10% of the games that I never will touch again. And I just put them in a basket. And I'm like, well, I got to start selling shit. I got to keep my, I'll buy your original Xbox games. Actually, so I have way more 360 games. I actually like my original Xbox stuff, but I might have some dupes. I can go through that again. And get rid of some stuff. Anyway, what I did then is 10% of each game library, went through and just started listing stuff on eBay. And I got to the point where I was pretty much working 8 hours a day on listing things, packaging things, and shipping things. I was a regular at the post office. They got to know me real quick because I was the guy coming in with fucking sacks full of boxes, sending shit out. And ironically, that's how I met my wife. When she, Christina was, she saw me come in a bunch of times, and she's like, one time she just asks, and she's like, so what's in all these boxes? And then I'm like, oh man, this is dorky, but a whole bunch of old games and shit I buy and sell on eBay. And she's like, oh, I like old games. And I was like, oh, well, what is one of your favorite games? And she's like, well, it's kind of weird. I don't know. It's one lesser known. And I'm like, bitch, please. We know who we are. Like, okay, I'm like, what game is it? And she says Gradius 3 on the Super Nintendo. And I was like, whoa. Okay. So I'm someone who knows a little bit. But I was like, dude, you like Gradius? Yeah, marriage, exactly. So I was like, shit, like, and then right away I'm just like, so you like Gradius? Did you know that Gradius 2 was released on my favorite game system of all time? And I've got 2 different versions of it, one on the Famicom, one on the PC Engine. And did you know that, and we're going through all this stuff, and she's like, oh my God, you're a dork. And I'm like, shit, yes, I am. But, so one of our first dates, and she is an amazing person. I love her. She's the best human being on the planet. But like, one of the first dates we did, we went for walks, we did things like that. But one of our first dates was like, I literally set up and we played through Gradius 1, 2, and 3. The Famicom Gradius 1, Gradius 2 on the PC Engine, and then Gradius 3 on the Super. And yeah, that was fucking awesome. What was the moral of the story again? Oh yeah. Anyway, I was buying and selling so much on eBay from July, August, and September, for most of September, that I was working pretty much 8 to 10 hours a day just buying, selling, and packaging. And like, it was literally shipping shit out became the most difficult part of that, because when you list 100 items a week and you stagger them to 5 to 7 day auctions, like I think it was 5, and I did them all as auctions. I always, my shitty slogan of my eBay store was starting everything at $1. Even the most expensive shit in the world, everything started at $1. I even sold like some MVS games, like that were $300 or $400 games, but I started them at $1 just to see, like, because I wanted to be honest with everybody. I'm not saying like, oh, I hope I make a couple bucks and then started at $50 or something. I started everything out at $1, and I did get fucked with that too, because I sold this awesome Genesis arcade stick. I loved my Genesis arcade stick, but I was, I'm looking at shit that I never touched for years at a time. Put it on there, put it for $1, and it actually sold for $1. And then I saw the guy who bought it on a Facebook group for Genesis, and he was like, I thought it was a scam. I sent him the money right away. The shipping was like $6 or $12 or something like that. And then it came. I boxed it and it came, and he's like, I can't believe this motherfucker actually sent this. And then I replied to it saying, hey, that sucked. I was really pissed, but I've also made like tons of money on some games that I never thought would go for anything. Like I had NES games loose and Famicom stuff, PC Engine stuff, Genesis stuff, Neo Geo stuff, Saturn, 3DO. Like I sold tons of things that, I listed for $1, and I'm like, I hope I make $5, and then it comes back $70. Like, whoa, that's worth way more than I thought it was, something. So the risk reward was big on the buying and selling on eBay, but I got to a point so I got let go in July. I didn't really hardcore get into selling until August, the first week in August. But in August and September, I made $9,000 off of selling on eBay on those 2 months, which for me at the time was pretty close, pretty comparable to what I was making working. So you can do it. It's just a lot of work. And it was really funny too, because when I made this eBay stuff work, and it was literally doing that, like I sold off 10% of my game library in August, but then in September I started like looking up lots and stuff, and there was like, a 200 game PlayStation lot, whatever. And so I'm buying and selling on eBay here and there, and some of it on Marketplace too. I think I sold, and you could sell reproductions on Marketplace because they're not as lawful, I guess, on that stuff. So I was using Marketplace a little bit here and there, and buying and selling primarily on eBay though. And I made $9,000 in 2 months. And so, yeah, get your library collection back up to what it used to be, and then selling what you don't need. Exactly. And that's the thing too, is that you have to really make a mental note, or really mentally disassociate things that are needs and things that are wants, because you can always recollect these things. Even if they're the most expensive, stupid things in the world, you can always play them, emulating, games online if they are available digitally. Like, it sucks to not have things physically sometimes, but when it comes to needs and wants, like really, like, I love and want and need games. Got to curate that small, meaningful set. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That is so correct, Dave. Like, it's like, what's meaningful to you and what is something that you actually just want. I love getting collections or sets of things. Like, I think of the Wizards and Warriors games, right? Like Wizards and Warriors, Iron Sword, and then Wizards and Warriors 3 on the NES. I love having the 3 of them next to each other, but I only have a soft spot for Iron Sword. Iron Sword is the one. Yes. So flashcards and misters have really made me not want to buy games. I only buy things I really want now. I completely agree. You're gonna and like things that fall in your lap, that's fine. Like I've gained games here and there where it's like someone's like, I don't know, it's something in Japanese and it's a box of Famicom carts and I don't know, $1 each. Fuck, I'm gonna buy 10 games. Like I will buy ones that I don't know what they are. Are they all Shanghai and baseball games? Probably. Mahjong and Flash and whatever baseball games, probably. But hey, they were only $1 each. Like little things like that, I get for buying and selling. But like when yeah. Do I need Wizards and Warriors 1, 2, and 3? No, absolutely not. I only have nostalgia for Iron Sword. I remember my nephews and I played that for like an entire summer, finding all the secrets and finding the rest of the games. I just found out it was called Wizards and Warriors 2, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? I'm going to buy Wizards and Warriors 1. Then I'm going to buy Wizards and Warriors 3, and I found them like at, thrift stores and, video game stores that were reselling stuff. Matter of fact, when I was way back at the beginning of this conversation, Ben, when I ran that Games LLC in Rib Mountain, I was always the first one to get dibs on certain games, and that's how I got Wizards and Warriors 3 and Batman Return of the Joker for NES. They were both traded in by someone, and then I just paid the cost for it, and they never made it to the shelf. So Ben says, everything has a price, but it would be cool to get an Xbox collection again and maybe my horror games, but also I'd love to be able to go to cons and sell stuff and wheel and deal with others and get into it and fuel the prices of these damn horror games that are so expensive for no reason. Well, dude, you know a couple guys. You know me and Evercon and Lincoln. If you want to sell at a game convention, you got to let me know. Evercon's pricey, but Lincoln's great for those guys who just like, you know what, I could buy a table for $20 for the weekend. You could easily make that money back with 1 or 2 sales. So like, think about that. Maybe start up a little shop that way. You could travel around to smaller conventions because Lincoln is $20 for a table, $40 for a double spot, and then $60 for 3 spots. So, and from what I was told by every one of our vendors this last year, or earlier this month, Jesus, it was just a couple weeks ago. Every vendor made money. They all said that they came out positive. And so, yeah, I think you'd do well. I think you would just bring a few boxes, set it all up, have a nice display. 90% of it goes into the display, like really. And I like the idea of having things separated in like cheap, expensive, and then like super expensive games. But anyway, long story long. Sorry, I've been talking for a long time. When I finally did, because I really chilled out on seeking a job, I'm like, I'm working in video gaming. I'm buying and selling video games. Like, this is amazing. Like, I have a YouTube, or I had an old game shop in 2003 called Game Escape, and they share the E, so it's Game Escape, GAMESCAPE, Game Escape, or Gamescape, as some people. I think Wisconsin's tax IRS just called it Gamescape, one word, but it was actually anyway. So that's my eBay store. That's been my eBay store since the beginning of the time. When I do sell over $600, you have to file it as a tax thing or whatever. So that's still my eBay handle is Game Escape Online. It was a part of our online sales 20 some years ago. And so I just kept it. And so when I was doing those 2 months, making a couple $1,000s, I'm like, this is great. This is what I can do full time. So I did that. But when I wound up getting an offer to work somewhere, and make decent money in a slightly different career path, it was in writing for IT. So it was basically writing functional specs and like requirements for websites and tools and programs and applications and shit. I of course was very excited to be having that umbrella, that blanket over you. That's a safety blanket, insurance and what am I thinking of here? Perks and, having a job again is what I was really excited about. I was like, oh, thank goodness. But there was a bit of me that was really sad that I wasn't going to be buying and selling video games full time anymore. And so that happened, and it was like, oh man, I guess I'll get back into work again. And so my 2.5 months of unemployment wound up being a pretty cool thing. So I took a negative, spun it in a positive. Long story short, Josh will do anything for enough money. Wink, wink. Oh God, here we go. Yeah, but so anyway, I haven't really sold. Someone's singing in the other room. I haven't really bought and sold on eBay a lot since then. But I have sold stuff here and there. I did sell some stuff at like Lincoln last year. I had a little table. and made some decent money. But yeah, that's kind of the shtick. I think starting a game shop small, like Frank Bacon. Think of Frank. He does Norcom in Merrill, and his store literally became a thing because he used to work with another game shop in town and just bring. Yeah. I got boxes of 360 games, and I'm not a 360 guy. I was at one time. I did enjoy the 360. I do know there are some really great 360 games, but there's a ton. I'm talking a box full of at least 50 games that I'm positive I'll never need. So, yeah, we could talk. Like, there's definitely some stuff there that I'd be interested in moving. So, but yeah. All right, guys. Peace, Audi 5000. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting with me tonight. Jesus. I'm so used to streaming at night. Thanks for chatting with me this morning. Let's go find someone cool. No, dude, not at all. This is great. This has been a lot of fun. I love the conversation, so you don't have to ever worry about sidetracking me, dude. That's why I run a podcast called Pro Wrestling Off Topic. We're never on topic for more than like 30 seconds. We're super ADD. So thanks for the stream, dude. Absolutely. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Let's go find somebody cool to go raid, though, because